Welcome to another episode of To the Moon. And today we got Mr. James Hawthorne. What's up, bro?
How are you, sir? Thank you so much for letting me on your podcast. I really appreciate it.
Come on, man. I'd if I could have had you on this podcast earlier, I would have, but we had some technical stuff and we just kept getting pushed and pushed and pushed. But we're here.
We're
Man,
here.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited to be chatting with you. How are you today, James?
Doing good, doing good. I tried to get my son to join us, but he's busy working with Philip doing some Keegly stuff. So
how cool. I mean, so I don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves because people will be like, Keegly, wait. Is this what's the connection? So I want to give you the way this podcast rolls out, James. It's all about you, bro. This is all about you, your journey, what brought you to this niche. But before we get even into any of that, tell us a little bit about James Hawthorne, the man. I know a little, but the folks that are watching, it's their first time getting to meet you. So tell us about yourself.
Well, I've always been a salesman. I started selling newspapers when I was 14, door to door. I won a trip to Astro World with my skills, so I knew I was good. I got into the shoe sales in the mall, working for Kenny Shoes, wearing a sport coat and a tie at 16. I just always aspired to be better at what I was doing, and got in the car business, worked in the car business 20 years, finance, sales, management. I just really like selling the most. So I got out of that, and I just always aspired. I always really wanted to be more successful. I just knew it was in me. Kind of capped out 6 figures selling cars, and that was easy. It was hard work, but it was, it's always just came natural, and I always made my goals. And number 1, number 2 was just consistent. But just real estate just called me. It just always had a calling for it. I just knew it was going to be my future, and for the benefit of me, my family, and just my time freedom. Working at a dealership, you're a slave to the hours. And
yeah, it's long. I've been in a dealership, bought a car. I stopped buying cars from dealerships now. I go to car brokers and let them concierge me the car when I want it. But back in the day when I'd have to go to the dealership and they do the whole cup game with you. Like, well, you get the warranty and you do this and we'll charge you more, and then your payment is less, and then you're like, hold on a second, I don't even know what happened. But then I'd always feel bad for them because these guys, it'd be like way past closing hours, and there'd still be like 5 or 6 people in there that they were hammering to try to get the deal done.
Yep.
And does that happen every day?
Oh yeah, you get kicked to the side from the customer, the sales manager, the finance director, your family for not being home, and it's a pretty thankless job. And knowing that you have X amount in a car and you sold it for $3,000 or $4,000 more than that, and the people could barely afford it, that kind of got to me a little bit. It's way different than helping somebody solve their real estate issue, where you're helping them solve a problem. And that's the most rewarding thing about doing what we do. But in that business, it was like just trying to make the most for the company and for the dealership, and, high fives when you make $5,000-8,000 off somebody. And it was just different because just knowing that it could have been better.
And when you make $5,000-8,000 off of somebody in the car business, what does that mean to James Hawthorne?
20%.
Okay, so you might make $1,000 or $2,000 more, and you're not sleeping at night. You feel terrible about it, and it's just, I get it, and that's hard. That's really hard.
Yeah, and I thought it was going to be better. I got into selling RVs and motorhomes, and I was selling $500,000 mobile motorhomes, and that was worse. It was a lot like the car business, but worse. And so, the real estate, and unfortunately, my mom passed away in 2017. We inherited her house, and we didn't know what to do with it. And my brothers, and we had a little bit of money and stuff. So I got some investors giving me some low ball offers, and we said, no, we're going to spend $15,000, and we made $80,000 off the house. So,
awesome.
Yeah. And that was the first, like, really what got me thinking about this. And then YouTube University and all the guys from your area, Cody and Sean. And I went to Cody Sperber's seminar in 2018. And I mean, that guy, he's cool and all, but he just tries to upsell you. Upsell.
I've never been to one of his seminars. I hear they're a good time. So I hope you had a fun time and you ate a good lunch.
I did. Yeah, it was pretty awesome. And I met a lot of people and had drinks with Sean Terry at the bar. I didn't even know who he was. And I just was like talking to him like a regular dude.
Yeah. Sean and I are, I mean, I know Sean well. He's a great guy. He's a real guy. He does deals. His team still, I see their emails coming out and he's still active and operating in the business. And so I feel good about seeing him out there crushing it in the space too. Cause I'm like, yeah, man, you're still at it. Go. And for me, it's all about, the authenticity of, are you in the business? Are you still doing the business? Cause this business evolves so rapidly. Right. And it's important that the people that are sharing the information on how it works actually be active in it. And so, and that brings me to this question, James. How did you find wholesaling? Right, like you just went to YouTube and dove in, or did you hear about it somewhere else? What was that like?
Nope, just YouTube University, man, and just one guy. It's like that Kevin Bacon 6 degrees of separation, and I ended up with you, and I'm just
you found me. And we've been together since the beginning for you, right? Like when you joined Astro, I had taken over, and your whole journey has been with me. So let's talk a little bit about what that's been like, because it's been amazing. I know that, but the folks listening don't. Yeah. How long did it take? What were the struggles, and ultimately, what does it look like now?
Well, I did have a couple of successes before you, and then I found you, and then I was like just strictly going with you as helping me dispo deals and stuff. And so but I had a run in with one of the big wholesale companies who I thought was partnering with me, and he told me he was going to partner with me and ended up making 15 grand. I made 5 because he double closed on me and didn't tell me. And so that kind of gave me a sour taste, and never used them again. And then I found you and got, we had coffee that day, and
so fun.
That was great. And just getting to know you as a person. And I just, I can't tell you how much I appreciate you. And I know everybody does, because of how real and sincere and genuine that you really are. And knowing that you're in the business still and helping. And, I've watched every 57 wholesale hotlines. Me and Alec have really just it's a thing every day on Monday. I got my wife's cooking dinner, and I'm just sitting there listening and not paying attention to her and stuff. And so,
well, I don't want her mad at me, but
no,
I love that it's a family thing, and I've gotten to be introduced to your wife, via Zooms and whatnot. And I'm very close to your son, Alec, and I've been able to meet your daughters, and it's just like I feel like I'm a part of the family. And there's nothing better for somebody that's coaching someone in this space to feel like they're in the lives of the folks that they're working with. And I truly get that from you, and it means a lot to me.
Yep. Yeah. I went to Tony Robinson, the closer, Tony the closer. I went to his seminar last year. And it was funny. I got to meet a lot of people and network and stuff, and that was pretty cool, just being in Vegas and everything. But
yeah, I never made it out there, but I heard it was full of all the big guys were out there that year.
Yeah. The all in guys, and got to meet Alex Saenz, and so he's really cool. I like that.
Awesome guy. Great energy on him.
Yeah, Carlos and those guys are a trip, man.
Yeah,
but just knowing that people we're like me, or younger, way younger, but I mean, just starting out, and then just can end up just exploding. And like I said, it happens fast. I mean, like 2 years ago, I never thought my son would have a real estate license, and he's working as an acquisition manager, picking up real estate and making money. And we got 2 in the queue right now in escrow because of him. So
awesome. So let's talk a little bit about the what it's been looking like, because I know you guys are active doing deals, making money. Walk us through one.
Well, I guess an interesting one is the last one we closed. It wasn't a whole lot of money, but we split a nice little chunk, and it was due to my Astro Fam and squatting up.
Love it.
We live in Austin, and I got this Facebook marketing campaign, and I get leads from all over the place. I told you about that farm in Wisconsin and just like stupid things, but I got one in Richardson, which is a couple 100 miles away. And Alec had reached out to one of these guys in our group, and he got the pictures, found the buyer, did everything. We didn't do anything but collect the check. And so it was pretty awesome.
Amazing.
From A to Z, man, not even looking at the house and not even meeting the seller. We talked to him. We had good rapport with the guy. And Alec had really good rapport with his ex-wife, and that's why he was selling. So
love it.
It worked out really good.
And now Alec is working with Keeley, which is incredible, right?
Yeah, I kind of lost my assistant, but kind of not really, because I gained like a company, but I still was using them anyway. And so he still tries to help me out and do some stuff, for me as well. But I'm just happy for him and proud of him, more than ever.
It's so amazing.
Yeah.
And there's a bun in the oven, or is the baby's not out yet, right?
Nope, June, July, something like that. He's
June, July.
Yeah. And I think.
Do you know if it's a boy or a girl?
It's a boy.
Okay.
Name him Sage Daniel Hawthorne.
Love it. What a beautiful name.
Thanks. Yeah, I tried to get him to put in Jamil somewhere in there, but he didn't.
Well, if there's ever a baby named after me, I'll be shocked. But how incredible! I'm very thankful to know you guys, and very thankful for your family. It's so special to me to connect with people like this, and really have a genuine friendship. Which is what we have. There's the mentor-mentee relationship can get weird sometimes, where because it's a status thing, and a lot of times with different people. It's not with me, because I've been in your seat, you know what I mean? And I know exactly what it feels like to be working at something and it not work. I know what it feels like to be needing help from somebody and not be able to get a straight answer. Yeah. And because I feel that so deeply in my own path in history, it's important that I shift that into a different methodology. And the community of Astro is really what I'm most proud of, right? It's not what I teach. It's how everybody's connected to each other, and everybody does deals with each other, and they're friendly with each other, and they work with each other, and that to me is so special, because I haven't found another mentorship out there that has a community like that.
No.
Have you ever been in, and did you join another? I know you had been to some seminars, but did you join another community at all?
It was always too expensive, and I didn't feel the connection. Like, I just felt like we kind of were like this. It just seems like from day one, and just talking to you and stuff, and I can just tell how you do care and how genuine you are, and how with like you and your brothers, Jamil, Pace, and Brent is just amazing.
The best trio ever. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. And it's so cool how there's different parts of y'all's friendship that make so much sense, and just doing deals, and I love it. I'm the thing that my struggle is because I still have a 9-to-5, and because I'm still making really good money doing that, and it just is really hard because it's pretty stable, and the money is, it's hard to walk away from a lot of money that you have in backlog. And so
that's not a bad problem to have, James. So let's talk about that, right? You've got a 9-to-5 that you crush it at. I know you had $100,000 month the other day, last month, whatnot.
Yeah.
So how are you doing in the wholesaling? Like, you must have all the money.
Well, it's like on paper, I made a lot because they got to close first. And same with this business. So everything's got to go from A to Z. but all of those sales will close and it will happen. So it's just getting it through the process of making it happen. And so I dedicate 5 days a week for that business. And it's really hard because I want to listen to podcasts, and I'll listen to podcasts when I'm, my downtime and stuff, but it's pretty demanding and I got to really be attentive to whatever I need to do when I'm there.
And your full-time job is new home sales for those of you that are listening in. So you work, in what, show homes?
It's a model. Yeah. It's in a model home park in a big community. There's 3,000 homes in there now, about to be 5. They just keep building. I've got another community that's like 20 miles or 10 miles away from me. That's pretty close that I'm cross-selling in. And that's pretty demanding, having to shuffle myself between 2 communities. But then one of my days off, I focus on, following up with all my leads and cold calling and doing, real estate investing stuff. And then one day, I have to take a day off, and I take off.
As you should.
I do, man.
So you essentially do wholesale 1 day a week.
Yeah.
So how many deals do you typically do in a month doing wholesale, working on the business 1 day a week?
It's not consistent enough. I mean, we've only done since we started this, we've only done 7 deals. And so,
but you just started. And so that's the thing. It's like you've already done 7 deals. There's folks that have been doing this for 2 years, 3 years, James.
Yeah.
And they haven't been able to get their first deal under their belt.
Yeah.
And you're working a full-time job, and that's 5 days a week. Then you take 1 day a week off. So you do 1 day a week of work in the business, and you're at 7 deals already. And out of this, if you combine the 7 deals, what do you think you've done in revenue in those?
Probably maybe $10 grand a piece, I guess, something like that. We had one that was 20 and one that was 5 and one that was 7 and one that was 14. It's just kind of,
it averages out to about 10. So I mean, for a side gig, a $70,000 side gig, I mean, it sure beats selling fruit by the road.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It's amazing. And I'm really impressed by your hustle. It's on your shirt. So it obviously it's in your blood, and knowing your son and your family, you have some amazing philosophies, and just the way that you guys operate as a family is fantastic. Absolutely. What would you say to people out there that are struggling or that are having a hard time juggling their 9 to 5 and want to parachute out of, because here's the thing, right? You're really fortunate that your 9 to 5 is so lucrative. There's a lot of people out there whose 9 to 5 is near poverty, right? Yeah. And they're listening to this right now and they're hopeless because they think I just can't get out of, I'm trapped. I'm trapped in the 9 to 5 because I need the 9 to 5 in order to buy the ramen we need to survive, right? And then, but I don't have any time. I have no time, or I got 1 or 2 days a week where I can do something, but that's not enough to really get anything done. Yet here you are with 1 day a week creating $70,000 in income in under a year. How does that, I mean, what would you give as advice? What would you say to somebody that needs to parachute out of their W-2?
I think it just boils down to action, of course, but your thoughts are your things that you think about. And it doesn't take any more energy or thought to dream and think big than it does to think small. And so if you can just get that in your head that you can do it, that it can be done and it is possible. And like Brent says, if he can do it, so can you. Like if I can do it, so can you. Like anybody can do it. And Alec has a phrase, it's the same, it's just different. Like you got to think about things differently, but it's still the same thoughts. Like you got to be really wanting to take the action and have that really strong why. And you're not trapped because you think you are, but you just got to think bigger.
So great. That's so great, James. That's true, right? You got to let it in your mind that it's possible. And then once you let it in your mind that it's possible, and then take an action step forward, possibility becomes reality.
Reality. Yeah.
And it's really as simple as that. And from being on the calls that we're on twice a week, I see you there all the time. And I know that, we all get a lot out of it. I get a ton out of being on those calls. I know that the students who show up to them, they get a lot out of being on those calls. And the one thing that we talk about a lot is mindset, right? We definitely get in, above and beyond the minutia of doing deals. How you think, how you feel, how you operate is really the expression of how you live, right? I have never met somebody who thought small and had a big life.
Nope.
It's just not, it's not congruent, right?
Exactly.
And it's really special. It's really special that you have that in your life. You have that in your family. Your grandson is about to be, make his entrance into this planet. And I'm sure with the two Hawthorne men, Alec and James, ahead of him, he's got the world at his feet.
Oh yeah. I have another son. He's 27, and I'm going to get him to do something in the bit. He wants to get into it. He sees our success. And so I'm going to drag another one in.
There's another one?
Yeah.
I feel like I've been shut out. Like I didn't know about this, that like I had a sibling.
Yeah.
That I'm just finding out about right now.
Right now. Yeah. He's 27. He's been, he was in the car business. He kind of followed my footsteps, and he had a really bad accident, and he ended up getting a bunch of money inheritance. And so he's been on a sabbatical.
Okay.
So thankfully, thank God he's okay, and he's back to normal and stuff. But he's just like, we got him a good deal on a house up in Killeen, and he bought it, paid cash, and now he's got him his first rental. And he's just got the bug now, so he wants
runs in the blood.
Yeah,
runs in the blood. James, I'm sure there's people watching this that are going to want to connect with you and Alec and do deals with you guys. How do people find you?
H Property Solutions. That's my Instagram. And then H Property Solutions at Yahoo is my email. So anybody in Austin or surrounding, anywhere, I mean, we've got connections.
I love it. Austin is in my opinion, the new Hollywood is what they're calling it. You guys there's a lot of Californians moving out there.
Tell me about it. I sell houses to them every day.
What's funny to me is back in the day, well, not even back in the day, 3 years ago, because I lived in Los Angeles. I was born in Los Angeles. And so when I moved here from LA, I would tell people to Phoenix, I'd be like, hey, where'd you come from? And I'd be like, oh, I came from LA. And they'd be like, oh, cool. I'm so jealous. I love LA. And nowadays it's like, hey, I'm here from LA. They're like, go back.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
How did it change so fast?
Yeah. They're really affecting our market here too, with because their homes are selling for so much, and then they come here and they're like,
all that money,
and then they're paying over asking price for people that are selling their houses. It's kind of affecting us, as far as wholesale goes, not really, because people still have to do things to get it to that point. But for me, I'm just seeing from my realtor connections that they're people paying 20%, 30% over list, waiving appraisals and paying cash difference, and just stupid stuff.
I've been saying this for, well, before the pandemic, and then all through the pandemic, and I'm still saying it, that we're heading for a housing crisis. Mm-hmm. And I had every main influencer throw tomatoes at me, tell me I was crazy. They were saying that we're heading for a housing crash. And I said, no, you guys have it wrong. You're not looking at the right indicators. There's too much private equity in the market right now for it to be a housing crash. Yeah. It's going to be a crisis. We're going to run out of inventory, and we're printing. We can't build them fast enough. We're printing too many dollars. The dollar's not worth what it was 12 months ago. And so because of that, in real estate, there's no better time. There's no better time to park your money in an inflation protected asset. Absolutely. Without a doubt. James. I love you, man.
Love you too, brother.
You're a great friend. You're a role model. You're the kind of guy that people need to see, because you show that it's possible to have a 9-to-5 full-time job, have 1 day a week dedicated to your side hustle and pull out $70,000 with your hobby. Man, you're inspiring. You're inspiring. You're amazing. Love you and your family. And we'll see you on the moon, my man.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Hey, Alec is going to come see you tomorrow, by the way.
No. Yeah, he's coming. I'm having lunch with him tomorrow. That's going to be a good time. We'll send you a picture.
Yeah, please. Please.
We'll do.
Thanks for everything.
All right, brother.